in. She is exonomous. She's out of breath. Another week is breathless. Obviously, where's Cooper?
You just noticed here this morning, but not. I think he went home sick.
I'm sorry to hear that. And Sister Anna has a rather physical reaction. She does not break out in a rash. Rather, she what? She ululates. No, well, she doesn't ululate. The servants are ululating. She scratches herself. She will. And she calls her out by name. Top of 245. Hac illo Germana fuit, she says. Yeah, translate that one literally.
The picture looks totally fine with the sword through.
Well,
the expression on her face is like bored.
Yes, well, in such pictures, you know, the paintings tend to be.
Expression. She's just sitting there, with sword through her cut.
So was this what you were planning?
Yeah. Was this that?
Was this
Hoc fuit illit. Was this that?
Oh,
Sister? I knew you were making these plans and you were building a pyre and everything. I didn't think that you were going to throw yourself on it. I didn't think you were going to die. Me fraude petebas.
Did you want to hurt me? Sometimes, I don't know.
Do I even need to make the reference here?
Yes. Well, go for it anyway.
Great 1980s culture
song,
club song.
yeah.
Do you really want to hurt me?
Do you
Do you
really
really want to
cry?
make me cry? Exactly.
That's exactly what it sounded like when you said it to
It really is. I know. We're on the
That's all
same.
high pitched.
Do you really want to hurt me? Okay.
I recorded that too.
Oh, gosh.
I have an apology to all of you and all the viewing audience for that one.
I'm pretty sure he has a lot more than that on the internet already.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The rest of it I can pretty well stand by, but not that. Were you petebas me?
Were you aiming to?
Yeah. Were you seeking me in fraude? In deceit. In other words, when you asked me to go do this errand, that sort of sense, were you seeking me in deceit? Were you tricking me? Hoc rogus iste mihi, hoc ignes araque parabant? Was iste rogus, were the ignes and the arai, were they parabant hoc?
Prepared for this?
Were they parabant hoc?
Were they prepared for this?
Not prepared, to be passive.
Oh.
Were they preparing hoc?
Were they preparing this?
For me?
For me?
Was that what this is all about? So that I could stumble in and see my own dear sister dead? Was that what the pyre was all about? Was that what the flames and the altars, was that what that was all about? Quid primum deserta quera. I gotta say again, great writing here. Some of the best. Anna, she appears briefly in 2 and again in 4. And that's it. So she's definitely a minor. She would be what we call supporting cast for sure. And yet Virgil doesn't just write her off. He easily could have. She sends Anna off on this mission. Then she kills herself. There's all the weeping and wailing. We could have easily forgotten about Anna. Easily. And I don't know that it would have been that much diminished until you see this passage. I mean, you see how much this really brings to it. I mean, incredible pathos here. And it does bring up the incredible selfishness of suicide. We were touching on that yesterday, and by what means one might kill oneself. Well, that's great for you. You got out of your pain, but what have you just inflicted on how many other people? Obviously you didn't care about that, and that's Anna's beef here. She says, quid primum deserta queror. What primum? What first do I queror? Do I complain at or do I blame? I, having been deserta, having been deserted, right? Really see that. Deserta is a participle. What case, number, and gender? Feminine. Nominative.
What's the other one? Case number, did you say?
Yeah. Singular. And the only feminine nominative singular in that line is what? An implied subject of queror, right? So I, having been deserted, what should I first complain at? Who should I first blame it? Coetemne sororem sprevisti moriens? And now in the next line, the verb shifts from first person to sprevisti, which is what person? Second person. Have you sprevisti?
Have you rejected?
Have you rejected your cometem sororem? Yeah, just puts it right together, really. Comes is a what?
Comrade.
Companion. Your sister who is your companion. I mean, doesn't even need to expand that in clause or quick clause or anything. Just, comite soror, right together. Boom. That's how tight we are. That's how close we are. Have you moriens in dying? Have you rejected your sister? And again, moriens is what case, number, and gender? Present participle, right? Is what?
Singular.
Nominative singular, and it's implied what gender? Feminine, because it's modifying the subject of sprevisti. So you've got two sentences here back to back where you've got participles modifying the implied subject of the verb. Okay? Really take a look at that. I can see people messing that up in all kinds of translations, right? Taking deserta as some kind of a direct object, neuter, not getting moriens right. Both of those are nominative, singular, modifying an implied subject of a verb. Very common in Latin. I blank do this. You blank do that. Kind of a thing. You dying. Now again, I think you got to smooth it out in a clause. I think I heard somebody saying it here. As you are dying, while you are dying, have you rejected your companion and sister? Eadem me ad fata vocases. Now we've got vocases is syncopated. It should be vocavises. And what form would that be? Vocavises. Pluperfect. Subjunctive. Person number. Singular. Second. Good. And when it's used alone like this, it's almost an exclamation. Would that you had, right? Because pluperfect is had. Would that you had vocases me. Would that you had called me to the eadem fata. To the same fate. I would have died right along with you. If I'd known that's what you wanted to do, I would have died right along with you. Would that you had called me to the same fate. Would that idem ambas ferro dolor ad queadem hora tu licet. Would that the idem dolor, the same pain, and the same hora, the same time or the same hour, had tu licet ambas. Either implied ambas nos, or ambas sorores, or ambas mulieres, or something. Would that they had taken both of us, or both women, with Pharaoh by the sword. I wish that could have happened. I wish I could have died in the same time with you. I would have shared your pain. Okay? There would be, again, another good one. It's the same dolor, idem dolor, and eadem hora, the same hour. not the same sword, because there's nothing to modify Pharaoh there. Certainly it's implied, maybe the same sword, but she doesn't actually say that. His etiam struxi manibus, patriosque vocavi voce Deus, sic te ut posita, crudelis, obessum. With his manibus, she says, with these hands, I struxi, I built, and your footnote has it nicely there, it's implied tuum rogum. I built your what? Your pyre. With these very hands, I built your pyre. That wasn't right, you tricked me, I didn't know. With my own woke, my own woke, my own voice, I wokawi our patrios Deus. I called our fathers gods. I called upon our ancestral gods. Didn't know what I was doing. Did I really do all that? Ut, with te having been posita, with you having been, no, that's possible. This is from pono, ponere, posui, positus. With you having been put or placed, seek. Well, seek.
Yes.
I hate it when books like to do that. You know, Latin doesn't really say yes. That seek business is nonsense. Latin doesn't say yes. Latin repeats the verb. Latin does say no, but Latin really doesn't say yes. You know. So, are you fighting Vercingetorix? The answer would be pugno. I am fighting. You would repeat the verb more than that seek business. But textbooks kind of feel the need to do it because. But literally, seek means what? Thus. Only because it means thus, because you have the extension idea of yes. Did I really build your pyre with my own hands? Did I call upon the gods of our fathers so that with you having been posita seek, thus placed, you crudelis one, you cruel one, I might be abessum? I might be absent? Was that what this was? To get me out of the room long enough for you to end your life? What if she calls her cruel? She says, extinsti te meque soror. Not I. You have destroyed te meque. Yourself and me, sister. And while we're at it, our populum and our patres Sidonios and our Sidonian fathers, our Sidonian ancestors, and urban tuum and your city. Notice how everything has kind of been in the plural. There's kind of the suggestion it's our people and our ancestors and so forth. But also, this city was your idea. Right? This was your project, start to finish, and you destroyed it. Presumably, she's calling out to the slaves because date is what kind of a word? Imperative, singular, or plural? Plural. She says, date, give. Vulnera lymphis obluam, there's an ut implied. Give so that I may obluam. Wash her vulnera with lymphis, with water. She's stopped attacking her sister. She's tending to the last kind of rites in preparation of the body. Bring me some water so that I may wash her wounds. And extremum si quis super halitus erat ore legam. And if there is aliquis extremus halitus, What did I say? Aliquis, when the word is clearly quis.
Oh,
Something else.
something holiday.
That's
Day.
it.
Ooh,
You brought that
Ali
in.
takes
Holiday.
a vacation.
Take a
Holiday.
holiday.
That's it. After seeing Nissi Newman Nay, Ali takes a holiday.
You did this to us yesterday.
Yes, I did.
And I was gonna do it wrong anyway. So I was gonna say quid.
If there is any extremus holitus, don't take the derivative on extremus, come up with something else.
If there's any final.
If there's any final breath, right? This is the root of halitosis. What's halitosis?
Bad breath.
Bad breath, right? So here's the root of
Ah.
that's also the root of inhale and exhale. She says, if there is any last breath that is erat super, it is erat, two R's here, not E-R-A-T, but E-R-R-A-T. Ero, errare. Erabi, eratus.
Oh, stray, a wander.
Stray or wander, right? This is the root of error, which is a wandering from the truth, right? That's what an error or a mistake is. She says, bring me some water. Right, so let me wash your wounds. And if there is any final breath that is wandering around super, above, and super is very often used in that sense of left, remaining, left alive, above ground. That's the whole word that idea is coming from. That I may legam it with my ore. That I may catch it with my mouth or with my lips. Read the footnote there. Nice explanatory footnote. Somebody?
It was a Roman custom to catch with this last breath of the tongue against the
Okay. Again, very literal folks, the notion that physically that life is going to continue through the descendants if we catch that last breath. And she says, that's what I want to do here. I want to try to help my sister out. A very pathetic scene. What do I mean by that? Yeah, it's full of pathos, right? Pathos, full of emotion and meaning, so forth.
So it'd be like sort of pathetic to become like, to like English like sort of a bad thing, like,
Sure.
like emotion is bad. Sort of
I think so.
That's
I think
cool.
that betrays our perspective on it. Because ultimately there is just feeling, right? And so when we say you're pathetic, we always say it that way, very, very snarling and derogatory.
I kind of deem like pathetic to be like people having emotion for something that's not worth it.
And well, and again, though, it's still the negative sense of it. All right, camera off.